this door. This happens to be the third door, depending on how you count. This is the third door. There are three doors with the Hard Times logo on them. There is one small door that has the Hard Times logo on it, and it also below it says Chronicles. And then there is another large door that has it looks like the Hard Times logo, but the letters aren't slanted at 45, which makes it a different version of the Hard Times logo, and not one you'll see very often. And that says Home of Hard Times Originals, and it hangs on the end of my garage facing the street where people going down the road can see it. What I wanted you to see was this one, and this happens to be the last full-size barn door that I put the logo on. This particular door is a better door than the other two barn door logos are painted on. And I want to take a minute now and talk about why that is. Now turn the door around. You're looking at the back side of it. This particular door has two batten boards, the one you're looking at right above my head, and there's one you can't see. They're attached to the other boards with square nails, lots of them. And this board came from a building that, based on what I know about the property and the buildings that were there, this door was created on site from native poplar, or it might be chestnut, I'm not sure, in 1865 to 1870, somewhere in that period. And that is what I wanted everyone that might have to deal with this door in the distant future at the great big auction after I'm gone, or whatever they do to divvy up this stuff or dispose of it. This door is a way better door than the other doors that have the Hard Times logo painted on them. So if that makes any difference to anybody, if you don't just pick out your favorite color and like it the best, and you can do that if you want to, but this is the best door, way the best door. The other doors are, 1920s probably to maybe as recent as 1950s. Buildings that were built then, doors that were built to put on them, made out of common, usually yellow poplars, maybe some oak in there. Common wood to the area, and they're put together with regular common nails. Of course, they're old and rusty looking now, but they're not 1860-ish square nails, and they don't have that kind of a tongue and groove construction, really cool old beveled batten boards that this door has. So just a heads up, I like this door way better, and that's why I like it. Now, in addition to being a Hard Times original logo barn door, there were two other doors like this one, and they didn't become logo doors. They predated the logo door era, and I turned them into tables, and probably depends on how it works out. I'm going to try to include some stills in this video, and I'll show you some pictures of the two tables made from this the sisters of this door. Two other doors, same property, same 1865 to 1870 era, same batten board, same square nails, same tongue and groove vertical boards, turned into old country tables and Hard Times Originals. One of those is red. I tried to duplicate, and it had most red paint on it of the three, and the least faded of the red. And so I tried to duplicate that red and did fairly well with it. And I used the same red to create chairs that looked like they were with the table for a long time. And my youngest daughter, Brett's her name, she really liked the table and chairs, and her and her husband live in a primitive log cabin, and they bought that table and chairs from me. So she has one of the batten board doors of the three I salvaged in the form of a red table. The other one was on a different side of the building, and it faded a lot more, and it was that it had turned into that ochre yellow that you see a little bit of on the top of this door. That whole door was that color, and a lot of it was no paint, but what paint was on it was that color. And I left it that color when I turned it into a table, and I created the skirt and the legs from other lumber that had no relationship to the door. It was old wood that I had, and made the skirt and the legs for that table, and I recreated that color and painted them to match the table. I also gave it the same treatment. I got 8, I think, what do you call them, bentwood back chairs, and painted them to match the table, and so it became a harvest table with 8 chairs. And I intended to sell it right off the bat, but my wife, she liked it, so she overruled my intentions for it, and it went in our house for a while. And it stayed there until I created another table to sell that she liked better, and ended up moving it into the house, and I still have the yellow one. It's sitting in this room. I can see it from where I'm sitting, but I have 3 videos out there already. They are varying degrees of amateurish. There's problems with at least the first 2 with the audio. I apologize for that. It has to do with me not being very good at what I'm doing here. I promise you, if you like the contents of the video, everything about them is going to get better. I'm using a little better equipment today than I have in the past. I know more about what I'm doing than I did a week ago, but I'm still woefully inept at making videos. But I intend to make videos for a while, and I can't help but get better. So bear with me. I'm going to try to get better, both about going on a long jaunt, talking about the wrong thing too long. I'm going to try to fix that. Don't know how good I'm going to be at that. But the technical part, the videos, the sound, the editing. We looked at the development already of the Hard Times logo. I haven't really talked about what Hard Times furniture is, and what it, how it came about, or any of that. I thought I'd just let you learn that as we went through the videos, but I think I am going to try to help you out a little bit with it and talk about it and explain it some as we go. If you like the videos, I hope you stay with me. This is number 4. There's going to be a whole bunch of them. I stay awake at night thinking about different ones to do, and I've got a long list. Probably wasted enough time today talking about the development of the Hard Times logo. I'm going to continue now. I'm going to stop and move the camera, and so you'll see a break in the action, but I'm going to move the camera and set up a situation where I can show you a couple of things that evolved into Hard Times Originals, and give you a better idea of what's going on with the Hard Times Originals and what they are. Here I am, hiding behind a stack of drawers. get these out of the way so you can see me. You got a good look at those drawers. What we call these drawers around here is a project. If you don't know it already, you're going to find out over time that I just love old drawers and things with lots of old drawers in it. I'll say that about this project. I'll say that many times when we're talking about projects and things that I started with, I bought and turned into something else. A lot of them begin with old drawers. Again, I was looking through some old pics last night, and I saw these drawers maybe 15, 20 years ago in a pile over on the other side of the wall there in my barn. I've got a picture of them there, and I don't know how long they stayed there before they materialized into what they finally materialized into. But you know, I like old drawers. I buy them when they're just sitting around the barn like this. They're a project. Once they become more than a project, then we'll show you what happens to them. Before I go any further, I'll show you something else that happens around here frequently. This, now I don't know how good you can see it. It's a coal hammer. I found it in one of these drawers when I was moving this over here to set up the video. It says on this side of it, we sell reliable coal. It's embossed or cast on the head of this hammer. And on this side it says I don't know what it says. Man something Grain and Coal Company. So I don't know if any of you know what a coal hammer is or have any idea what you would do with the coal hammer, but I do. I've used one. When I was a young man, our home was heated with a coal furnace. We bought coal in bulk, and that means it come in great big pieces of coal. They slid it down a chute into our basement, which was the coal bin, and carried them big chunks in there in front of the stove and broke them up into something that fit in the stove, and this is what you used, a hammer like this. Or we didn't have anything as fancy as this. We used a regular kind of a hammer, but this is a coal hammer, and it's used to break up chunks of coal to a size that you can handle and put in your stove. So, and this particular one is for sale. Looks like I want $20 for it. I'm surprised I didn't want more than that for it, but anyway, that's what I've got on it. Of course, all my prices are negotiable. If you happen to be around here at the yard sale, or if you get a hold of me some other way and you'd like to have a coal hammer, I got one. Okay, I had this staged. I've slid this over now into the picture, and we're going to put the drawers back in it. And when I bought the drawers, these 4 dividers were with the drawers. I'll put the drawers back in. Give you a look at the drawer. That one's the top one. $235. If you come to a sale here, I don't have prices on a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff inside a drawer or underneath it or somewhere. There's a price on it. Just helps me refresh my memory. Again, I'm surprised that I even put that low price on this, but there it is. Drawers painted inside blue. Slides in, looks like that. The drawers are numbered because they fit better if you put them in the same hole every time. Okay, this is a piece that I would call a Hard Times original. What that means is, one day I started putting it together in something, and it became a something else other than what it started out as. And at some point in time, I liked it well enough to call it a Hard Times Original. And that grading system is just my grading system. If I like it, it can be a Hard Times Original. If I don't like it, if it's not worthy of me saying it's a Hard Times Original, then it isn't a Hard Times Original. There's a lot of stuff that don't make the grade as far as I'm concerned. My daughters don't like it. They think that everything should be a Hard Times Original when I create it, but it's not. Sometimes I just sell it and it's something that I repurposed. Other times I liked how it turned out really well. It had features that I really liked, and so I called it Hard Times Original. This one made the grade. It is a Hard Times Original. It started out being some drawers that I bought somewhere, sometime. I took some old boards. Actually, I think that was a box that just happened to be the right size to put these drawers in it. I think it was the right size in one direction this way, but not this way, and I had to cut the top of it off. But anyway, this was a box. I put the drawers in the box. I made some legs to turn the box into a little stand and put them on the side. I put some paint on them to kind of duplicate the paint that was already here. That's actually not as good a job as I would have liked for it to be. But I want to show you the top. When I got all that done, I needed a top for it. Actually, I knew what the top was going to be before I made the legs and painted them. I was going around over in the barn and I found two boards over there. Yeah, you can see most of it there. But these boards, if you look at these boards, they've got an old blue-green paint on them. And the paint itself has faded into about 3 or 4 different colors. It had some other pumpkin-looking paint under it, and some of that's bled through right here. There's a place there where there was something on that board and it didn't get painted. But those boards, I just absolutely loved those boards and loved the old paint that was on them, and made them perfect for this top. And so there they are. They're the tops of this. One last feature of it is, and I'm going to turn the camera off while I turn this thing back up the other way. Looks like the drawer's open. Let me get that closed. All right. I have a friend. His name's Cosner. I'm not going to tell you much about him other than the fact that he and his brother a lot of years ago started a company called Cosner Ice Company. And if you're from southern Indiana, you know about Cosner Ice Company. You see their trucks and their bags of ice all over the place. One of the brothers that's more my age and is actually my friend, he's not a part of the ice company anymore. They parted ways on the ice company business, and his older brother ended up with the business, and I think now his son runs it. But at any rate, when I made this Hard Times Original, I painted the sign on it that said Frank Cosner Coal and Ice. And I did that because I found a sign in an old building one time that said Frank Cosner Coal. And because of that, finding that sign, I surmised that this Cosner was related to my Cosner, and he at one time sold coal. I've talked to my friend since then, and he did indeed have an uncle named Frank Cosner, but he tells me he never sold coal, so that's an argument between you and I. I'm going to tell you about that sign I found someday in a future video, but not today. The reason this says Frank Cosner Coal and Ice on it is I just wanted to put something on it like that, and there it is. I think it added to the ambience of the thing. If you listen to me, there might have been a Frank Cosner Coal Company. There definitely is a Cosner Ice Company today. And in my mind's eye, there was a Frank Cosner Coal and Ice Company. And so I made a Hard Times original that depicted that. This is a signed Hard Times original. I think 1998 is when I produced this. I should have looked while I had it upside down, but it's too heavy to horse around. I'm going to say it's 1998, and if that's not right, it's close to that. 1998, Hard Times original, Frank Cosner Coal and Ice, 5-drawer cabinet, $235. This is what a Hard Times original is. All right, I hope that little tutorial on how a Hard Times original happens and what it ends up, an example of what one ends up looking like, helped you understand the Hard Times part of all this business of making videos. I'm seeing in the top of this my camera screen above that door another Hard Times logo. There is, and I'd forgotten there was one, but I'm not going to move the camera anymore now, but you can see that up there above that BB gun. It says Hard Times Originals, and what that originally was a styrofoam sign that said Early Times. And I could tell you some stories about early times as well as Hard Times, but I'm not going to. I quit all that in 1979. But anyway, that was an Early Times styrofoam sign, and it was broken, and I bought it at an auction for 50 cents. Brought it home, put it back together, changed the word early to hard, and put the originals on it. And so I use that as a logo sometimes too. I have another little sign that looks like that logo that goes on the side of my convertible when I drive it in a parade. So there is yet another Hard Times original logo, but the one that's in my mind official is the one you see behind me on the door. We introduced something today that in the next few videos at some point in time I'm going to come back to, and that is the word projects. When I go to auctions, that's what I'm always looking for, a project. And I think there's more money in projects than there is any other things that you can buy in this business. So look forward to keep watching the videos. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Look, if you haven't seen my other videos, go back and watch the other 3, and look for future videos. One of them will be entitled Projects, or have the word projects in the name of it. Thank you for what you have done, and until next time, I'm Luke, the Hard Times guy.